So once again, a very good morning to all of you. Welcome to all of you on this um, user awareness session. I won't name it as a training session because I mean you all are using WhatsApp, you are using Facebook, you are using LinkedIn. No one is teaching you how to click on a particular article or how to read a particular post or how to post your picture. The user interface of all these platforms are so simple that there is no need of training. But here we are not talking about a platform where we go and socialize. We are talking about a platform that is used for research. So we can do everything on Google, but there is a difference between Google and the research platform. So whatever we do on Google is search, and whatever we do on a publisher platform, be it is IEEE or Elsevier or ACM or ASME, that is called research. So I'll be highlighting some of the tips and tricks, some of the tools, some of the other platforms which are directly and indirectly related to IEEE Xplore that can help you, that can facilitate all of you, all the students, faculty members, HOD, library, science directors, principal, to fuel up your day-to-day research and development. So without taking any further, I'll quickly jump onto the housekeeping things. As Sheena has already mentioned, that all attendees are on mute by default. If there are any question, please use the chat box. Since we are all are working from home, we are going through this difficult time, so there could be a background feedback. There could be a lot of feedback. So we have deliberately put all of you on mute. We would try to answer all the questions in next 45 to 50 minutes. So if there are any question which may remain unanswered by the positive because of the paucity of time, we will get back to you via email, and we will also share the slide deck. So there is no need to make any notes. The video is getting recorded, and you will have access to my email address. You will have access to my mobile number by the end of this session. Yeah, one thing that I would like to request all of you, please do not hold your question till end. If there is anything that occurs to your mind related to research, related to IEEE, please use the chat box to ask your question there and then. Though we will have some time in the end also, but still, I always encourage all my attendees to ask the question as and when it will come. So there is nothing like that I'll be out of flow. So I like that kind of conversation in which the interaction is from both the sides. So let me give you the quick agenda of this short webinar. I'll be giving you a brief overview of who we are, uh, what we do, why we do. We will talk something about an impact factor, one of the major parameter for the library or for the procurement team to understand the worth of a particular journal. Since we have already stepped into fourth industrial revolution, how IEEE is fueling a fourth industrial revolution, and how you can orient your career and your research with respect to fourth industrial revolution. We will talk on that as well. Some of the new features and upgrades of IEEE Explores, because every month we add some new features. Every year we do a major platform change. So I'll be giving you some highlights in the form of PowerPoint, that these are the features, these are the major upgrades that we have done. And I'll be also telling you that there are other resources available apart from IEEE Explore Digital Library Platform, which is also under our umbrella, under IEEE's umbrella. But many times people are not even aware of those resources, and all those resources are free and somewhere directly and indirectly connected to IEEE Explore Digital Library. Then I'll spend some time on IEEE Explore live demo, wherein I'll be telling you tips and tricks that can really save your time. Because if the platform is not saving your time, then it is not a research platform. It is just a search platform. And as I've told you that we'll have some time in the end for Q&A. However, uh, at any point of time you have any question, you feel I'm going too fast, you can tell me there and then, and I can repeat that stuff again for you. So we are the world's largest technical professional members run organization with 4,22,000 members who are present in 160 countries. There are 39 technical societies and 7 technical councils under IEEE's umbrella. Now the thing is, why do we need this technical societies, and what are these technical societies exactly? So when we talk talk to lawyers, they say we have bar association. When we talk to doctors, they say we have medical association. What about engineers? So IEEE, thought through this whole thing, and we created 46 technical societies and councils, that tomorrow if you're interested, if your area of interest is AI, there is a technical society for you. If your area of interest is photonics, there is a technical society for you. If your area of interest is IoT, there is a technical society for you. So once you become the IEEE member, then there are 39 technical societies and 7 technical councils that you can join, and you can understand how the technology is evolving with time. You can participate in the projects, you can meet and you can collaborate with like-minded people. You can even earn the voting rights if some standard is getting developed or under process. And you can also understand how this 6G and 7G is going to uh, turn out after 10 years or after 15 years. So that's how you can increase your network, and you can get acquainted to all upcoming futuristic innovation by joining all these technical societies. So there are 1,23,000 plus student members. So what we do, we publish 195 journals, transactions, and magazines. When we say we publish, I'm talking about active journals, transactions, and magazines where we are still receiving the manuscripts. We sponsor and co-sponsor 1800 plus annual conferences, means there are 5 to 6 conferences are happening every day somewhere around the world. We are the leading standard developer today. If we are connected through Wi-Fi, if we are using a mobile phone that has a Bluetooth connectivity, so that is the standard given by IEEE. If you read a LAN cable, if you see a LAN cable, local area network cable, that says 100 Mbps. That's a standard given by IEEE. All of you are using the laptops, and there is a Wi-Fi card in your laptop that is built upon the standard of IEEE. The standard says 802.1, and this is a very prominent, this is a very famous series of IEEE standard. And last year, you will not believe, there are more than 3 billion devices being shipped on this standard, and this standard is still an emerging standard. It is not the fully developed standard. Talking about the content repository of IEEE, we have more than 5 million plus full text documents in the form of journals, in the form of conferences, in the form of ebooks, in the form of e-learning courses. And there are 500 plus e-learning courses available on IEEE Xplore digital library. And there are 7 rich collections of ebook, Wiley ebook, Morgan and Claypool ebook, IEEE ebook, SAE ebook, now Foundation ebook, and recently we have collaborated with Artec Publication House ebooks also. So in case if TRC Oman is also interested in procuring the ebooks, so there is a good quality collection of ebook that they can refer to. So just to give you one more, just to tell you one more thing, that I'm sure that some of you are attending this webinar for the second time. We have done this similar webinar, and that's, I would say, the repeat of the webinar, because I've been told that we are going to do two webinars. One webinar we have done it in March 2020, and this is the similar. This is a revision of that webinar only, and the other webinar that we'll be doing in the month of July or August, that would be focused on how to publish a technical research paper with IEEE Explore Digital Library. So that will be focused more on publication, that will be focused more on peer review process and other things. However, if you have a question that you would like to ask in this webinar, please do not hesitate and please do not hold your question. So coming back to this slide, IEEE is always known for its quality and peer review process. When it comes to technical spaces, we are always on the top. But when it comes to impact factor, something which is not coined by us, which is coined by Thomson Reuters and nowadays known as Clarivate Analytics, that's where we stand in the field of electrical and electronic engineering. All top 20 journals are coming out of IEEE publication house. So this is a report, this is the journal citation report on the basis of impact factors. So what is impact factor? Impact factor is nothing but the computation of number of papers published in a particular journal divided by number of um, citation that journal I've received over a particular period of time. So usually the Clarivate Analytics calculate this impact factor from last 2 years. So if we are talking about the impact factor of 2019, then that is the amalgamation or the computation of 2017 and 2018. So that's where IEEE stands. So you can see almost in all the different areas, on all the different subject areas, IEEE is on the top. However, I do not, as a trainer, I would recommend all of you not to solely depend upon impact factor, because impact factor is nothing but just a mathematical formula. But to realize the worth of a particular journal, to understand the quality of a particular journal, it is better to understand the aim and scope of that journal in depth. And number two, talk to your scholarly community, talk to your library, talk to your HODs. They are the one who can give you more realistic approach on how to deal with when you are selecting a particular publication title to submit your manuscript to, or when you are struggling to understand that which particular journal you should recommend to or you should read while writing your research or you should refer to. So they are the people, that's the scholarly community that can give you more realistic approach to understand the whole idea behind this impact factor. If someone is working on a patent and they are citing to your article, what you will get is a patent citation. That is not the normal citation. So IEEE is the only publisher in the world that is being told by 1790 analytics report, which is cited 3 times more than any other publisher. And we keep a very close tab when our content is being cited in American patent office and European patent office. So that tells us that how critical we are when it comes to prior art search and literature review. So I'm sure that all of you understand that we cannot develop or we cannot even start working on an idea of creating a patent if we do not have access to a resource that can give us a thorough understanding or a comprehensive search for our prior art search and literature review. So this resource is available to all of you via TRC, the Research Council of Oman. So we should be thankful to TRC that with the help of all of their efforts, we have a tool that is uh, you know uh, labeled as a resource which is 3 times more cited than any other publisher in the world. So world's leading resource for cutting edge research, they all big schools of the world, from Stanford to California, University of Oxford, MIT, University of Cambridge, all of them are using the same resource. All of them are using the same subscription. What TRC Oman is using or what TRC Oman is giving to all of you. Not just these schools, you can name any big corporate in the world, from Apple to Microsoft to Uber to Oracle to any big corporates that comes to your mind, Cisco, Google, all of them are using the same resource, the same subscription, I would say specifically, that is being subscribed by TRC to give access to all the universities in Oman. So I was mentioning about fourth industrial revolution. So just to give you a small or a quick history of these industrial revolution, the first industrial revolution, 1 IR, came into picture when steam engines were being invented, and it was all about transportation. And then the electricity came into picture, life became a little bit easier. That was 2 IR, second industrial revolution. In third industrial revolution, computer came into picture and a lot of automation started happening. It was all about mass production and transportation. And today we are standing at fourth industrial revolution, which is a fusion of physical, digital, and biological world. So this is the term which is coined by Professor Klaus Schwab in 2019. who is affiliated with World Economic Forum. And what Professor Klaus Schwab says that these 9 technologies, starting from cybersecurity to augmented reality, big data, autonomous robots, simulation, system integration, cloud computing, Internet of Things, these 9 technologies are going to govern each and every industry of the world by 2025. By 2022 and 2023, 90% of your home devices would rely big time on IoT. So, you know, he says that whatever jobs we are assuming today will are not going to exist in 2025. So he claims that if we are not oriented towards these technologies, if we are not calibrating our career, if we are not calibrating our research, our projects, our day-to-day study, our online learning with respect to these technologies, then we might have some tough time by 2025 to cope up with the change that is going to happen and that is inevitable. That what Professor Klaus Schwab is showing. This is not what I'm saying. So these orange color numbers underneath these technologies depicts the number of articles that we have available on IEEE Xplore digital library for all of you. And these numbers are variables, these are not constant, because every week someone is submitting and someone is getting accepted. And every month we add 20,000 new article on this platform that encounters 16 million unique downloads every year. So that motivates us, that encourages us to add new data on monthly basis. So some of the new features and updates, some of the major upgrades and features. So I have told you about how many conferences we add in a year. I have told you about how many articles we add in a month. So what about journals? So every journal, every year we add 5 to 6 journals based upon the feedback that we receive throughout the world. So these 4 journals: a journal of emerging and selected topics in industrial electronics, reliability magazine, selected areas in information theory, transaction on technology and society. This is what we have added in 2020, and all of these journals are part of your subscription. So there is a lot of discussion going on open access. I'm sure that you must have heard about countries like China and Europe. They are they started this whole revolution of, and they named it as Plan S. So wherein the government of these countries are encouraging all the young authors to only submit their paper to open access publication, so that they are envisioning, they are forcing a day when everything is freely available for everyone. There is no price tag, or there is no price wall uh, in between an author and the reader. So there are 2 modes of publication: open access publication and traditional publication. If you go for traditional publication, then there is no cost, there is no fees that an author has to bear. So when you go for traditional publication, the publisher would retain the copyright. But when you go for open access publication, in which author has to bear a cost that is called APC, article processing charges, and author in return will be allowed to broadcast its research freely to everyone without any restriction. And second, they would retain the copyright also for that particular manuscript, for that particular publication. So these are 13 new fully open access journal under the umbrella of IEEE. If you remember, in my previous slide, I mentioned that there are 195 journals that we publish every year. So out of 195, 100 plus journals are hybrid journals. Now, what do I mean by hybrid journal? Hybrid journals are those journals in which you have both the option. You can go for open access publication, and at the same time, I mean, in case you want to go for traditional publication, you can also go for traditional publication. So apart from those hybrid journals, so these are the 13 new open access, fully open access topical journals. So earlier we used to have 7 topical journals. These are new 13 open access topical journals. And on the right hand side, you can see one of the most prominent journal of IEEE, most highly read journal of IEEE, that is IEEE Access. So that will give you access to 21 fully open access journals. 20 are the topical journals and one is a mega journal. By mega journal, I mean to say you are you have 16 different topical areas in which you can submit your manuscript to, right? So I will quickly see if there is any question on the chat box. So far there is no question. I'll proceed further. Code Ocean, that is also one of the features that we have added, but it is not a feature. What is Code Ocean? Code Ocean is a different organization just like IEEE. But if it is a different organization, why am I promoting this organization in my presentation? So before I answer that, let me answer one question. Is the access given only for IEEE member? No, the access is not given only for IEEE member because you have the institutional subscription in which there is no point of becoming IEEE member. So when we say IEEE member, there are two kind of memberships, individual member and institutional subscription. You have given an access to IEEE Xplore digital library by the Research Council Oman. So there is no point of getting an IEEE member. The purpose of our becoming IEEE member is to enhance your networking with like-minded people. The point which I was explaining in the beginning. So right now you have access for this institutional subscription via the Research Council Oman. I hope this is answer to your question. And I also have a second question: which one is better for a research scholar, publishing article in traditional or open access? Is the same hold good in international conference publication? So I would answer. There is a question from Dr. Anuj PK. Uh, uh, so Dr. Anuj, I will first answer the second part of your question. So conferences, they don't come under open access publication and traditional publication. This is only for journals, number one. Number two is we can spend an hours on this debate that which mode of publication is better, whether traditional or open access publication. Now, people sometimes says that if your research is openly available, then there is good chance that anyone can cite your article easily. But if we talk about IEEE Xplore, I mean, I'm from India, and India, we are present in all engineering colleges. We are present in all ISRO labs, all MCIT labs, all DRDO labs, all IITs, all NITs. I'm talking about the top-notch schools of India. So that means almost 90% of libraries of India have access to IEEE Explore Digital Library, and they have access to our content. And if I talk about the total repository of IEEE Explore Digital Library, that is 5 million full text document. And if I put a filter on open access publication, there are say 60, 70,000 papers out of 5 million. So which is a number in fraction. So, that entirely depend upon an, author. For example, if you want to go for a journal which is fully open access, that is IEEE access, then there is no choice. He has to bear, because the APC, the article processing charges of one article is from $1,700 to $2,000, which is the cost. I mean, good cost, right? I mean, at least I belong to India, and for us, that is maybe that's more than what I earn in a month. You know, to be very honest with all of you. So that entirely depend upon author. But yes, if people says that open access is better than traditional, or traditional is better than open access, then there are points on both the sides. But what I see, as long as there are more number of traditional publication titles available, and almost we are present in 7600 libraries of the world. So that means there are 7600 into how many people you can multiply that have access to your research and that can give you a lot of citations. So I'm sorry I went little long on this question, but I hope somewhat I was able to answer to your question, Dr. Anoopji. So I will come back to the CodeOcean. So what is CodeOcean? CodeOcean is a different platform, just like IEEE. The purpose of this platform is to provide cloud-based executable space to the entire world, wherein there are two stakeholders. One is the author and second is the end user. What author will do? Author will come to this platform. Author will write the algorithmic, scientific, mathematical code, or you can say a program, the program that you write in C, C++. Like there are 16 different programming languages: C, C++, Java, Python, R, Hash, MATLAB, Boolean, etc., etc. So author can, now the question is, why would author take so much of pain and write the code? Because with the help of this code, the end user can reproduce the output of the entire article within few seconds, depending upon the data set of that code. So nowadays, the reproducibility is a buzzword. Everyone want to, access to an article where there is an algorithmic code, and once they run the code, they'll be able to see the output of that article in the form of PNG or JPG or some graph or something like that. So it is all about reproducibility, and this is under open science. This is free. There is no subscription required for this, because people nowadays are filtering paper where there are algorithmic code. So again, I know that this may sound a little bit complex to you at this moment of time, but the story is very simple. CodeOcean is also an organization just like IEEE. We collaborated with them. The reason was CodeOcean provides the platform wherein an author can create the code and can incorporate that code with IEEE Xplore digital library. For the incorporation, the author just has to give the DOI number. The moment author gives the DOI number of their article, this code will start reflecting on IEEE Xplore digital library platform. So that's how an author can help himself or herself to increase their visibility, because people filter articles where there are algorithmic codes. Now people like me who are end users, who are not authors or researchers, what they will do, they will come to IEEE Explore digital library platform. They can run the code, I can download the code, and I can also modify the code and can see if my modification can bring new result to the research. This is very innovative and very interesting, the last part of my statement, that I can modify the code also and I can see if my modification can bring new result to the research. So I will show you live this whole CodeOcean thing, then it will make more sense to you, all of you. It took me, around 2 months to understand this whole concept, but because I'm not directly associated with this publishing industry, so it will be easy for you to understand, to all the researchers and to all the faculty members, to understand this in few minutes or few hours. There are 250 plus articles available on IEEE Explore where there are algorithms and data sets. And I will also show you the list of those 250 articles that are increasing every day. Any question on CodeOcean? All right, I will take it as no. We have also started capturing the author detail profile pages. Now here you can see there's an example of an author from Sohar University, Oman. And the name of this author is Dr. M.H. Al-Mansouri. So this is the beta version of this feature. Now, how you will come to this page, whenever you see any of the author name and you click on the author name, it will give you a quick snapshot of the entire publication of that particular author with IEEE Xplore digital library. I'm not saying that this is the complete research of Dr. Mansoori, because he might have written thousands of papers, but here I'm talking about his contribution in IEEE Xplore digital library research, and so far there are 59 papers. But again, this is a beta version, so Dr. Mansoori may say that no, I have 159 or I have 100 plus, but I'm just giving you an example right now. Say, for example, he has started his research in 2005 and 2018, and so far he has worked with 65 co-authors. He has collaborated with 65 co-authors. These are the publication topic. This is a quick biography, and underneath the list of all those 59 uh, you know individual articles, publications by Dr. Mansoori. So to reach to this page, you just have to click on any of the author name. Whenever you're searching anything on IEEE Explore, just click on the author name and you will come to this point. But again, you might find some glitches on this because we are still working on the fully functional version of this feature. But yes, this is the beta version of this feature. So we use app for everything from morning to evening. Why not for IEEE Explore digital library? So now you can come to the App Store, you can come to the Google Play Store, and you can download this app, and you can create alert on this, and you can also do the full text search in future, because again, this is the beta version of the app, but you will be able to create your account, you'll be able to receive the notification, you'll be able to create alerts on any search query. So that's the feature I wanted to highlight that I like most, and we have recently added. Now, I was mentioning about patents in my previous slide, if you remember, that IEEE is the only publisher in the world which is 3 times more cited. So this is the one segment of the article that I have opened, that I have taken a screenshot. Now on the right hand side, you will see a small widget that will tell you top organizations with patent technologies mentioned in this article. For example, this is my article, and I will quickly understand, oh, Toyota has 47 patents, Ford has 39 patents, Boeing has 22 patents on the similar technology, on the similar thing that I am working on. Probably you want to send an email to Ford or Boeing, and you want to let them know that that's what your work is, and this is how your research is evolving. And probably there could be a situation when Ford would like to collaborate with you, General Motors would like to hire you or would like to work with you, would like to give you a project. So there is a lot of scope for you to do the collaboration with the help of this critical information, which is not readily available on Google, right? So there are codes and figures almost in every article in IEEE Export Digital Library. So the question is, can I simply take any of the equation from any XYZ article or any of the figure from any ABC article and copy paste in my article? Can I use them? The answer is yes, as long as you are citing them properly. But the another problem is, especially with equations, it is very difficult to replicate those equations as it is with all those special symbols, lambda and all those, gamma, beta. It is at least for me, it is very difficult to use the keyboard. And so what we have done, we have created the source code of every equation. So when you click on any of the equation name, that will give you access to the mathml code and the latex command of that equation instantly, right? So you can use the bibliographic software to copy that particular equation and to replicate that particular equation as it is without any hassle. So we have given you access to the source code of that equation, that is the mathml code, and we have also given you access to the latex command of that equation. So that depend upon you that which mode you want to use in your article. So I will show you this option live also. That's the source code. When you click on the mathml code, So now you can download the entire issue as a single PDF in one go. Otherwise, what was happening, you know, you were going to a particular issue and there are number of PDFs and you were able to download only 10 PDFs at a time. But what we have done for all our IEL subscriber, that is ITRC Oman is our IEL subscriber. So we have enabled this option wherein you can download the entire issue as one single PDF in one go. So that can save a lot of time for you. So as I promised you that I'm also going to highlight the resources other than IEEE Xplore. More or less, they are directly and indirectly related to IEEE Xplore, and all these resources are free. I'm not here to sell anything. I'm not here to market anything. I'm a trainer, so I'm just here to make you aware that these are the different 10 tools that can facilitate your day-to-day teaching and learning, that can facilitate your research. So whenever you get time, just go to Google and write IEEE-dataport.org. IEEE Dataport is a web-based cloud service platform supporting the data-related needs of global technical community. This is free. Whenever you get time, just come to this website, because this will give you an access to the different categories of data sets, not just limited to technology, but if you're trying to find a data set on astronomy, if you're trying to find a data set on energy, if you're trying to find a data set on finance, if you're trying to find a data set on geosciences, remote sensing, you will get a good variety of data sets on this platform. As of now, you can upload or download the data set of up till 2 terabyte for free on this platform. And you can link these data sets with DOI number. If you want to upload a data set on this IEEE Dataport website, and after that you want to link it to an article on IEEE Xplore Digital Library, just give the DOI number of that data set. This will start reflecting. And one of the best thing that I like in this website is that IEEE is hosting all these data sets on Amazon Web Services, which will give you a lot of option for data analytics, unlike Microsoft Azure and Google's cloud. So you can store data, you can manage data, you can download data, you can upload data. But this 2 TB, 2 terabyte limit is available for the limited period of time. So I would request all of you to come and spend some time, because no big industry, I mean, what they say is, they say these days, data is the new oil, right? So no big industry like big data or cloud computing or AI or ML or NLP, they cannot exist if they don't have access to good amount of data sets. And that's how IEEE is also fueling up the data port, the data sets. Preprint servers. Again, I would request, if any one of you have any question, please use the chat box so that I can answer your question instantly. So what are preprint server? I'm sure that all of you are aware about preprint servers. So preprint servers, there are different publishers who already have preprint servers. So we also thought of coming into this venture. This is again free, no subscription is required for this. But what exactly is a preprint server? Now, for example, I am writing a research paper, and it will take 3 to 4 months for me, or maybe 5 to 6 months to complete the draft of my manuscript. And after that, I will start finding a publication title or a publisher to submit my paper to. So I'll submit my paper to, say, IEEE, and IEEE again will take 5 to 6 months. In the interim, a friend of mine whose name is Sheena is, living in Dubai, is also working on a similar idea, and she happened to publish that idea before me, and she happened to submit that idea even before me. So my whole hard work would go into vain, will be zero, because Sheena was smart enough to do this before me. But actually, that idea was mine. So let's take some other scenario. Maybe Sheena is not known to me, and she's in some other part of the world, and she is also working on a similar idea, and she happened to release before me. So here the picture of preprint server will come into picture. The moment draft version of my manuscript is complete, the moment the completed version, the draft version of my manuscript is complete, you can come and upload on the preprint server. In preprint server, there is no peer review process. You will get accepted and published in less than 2 days. Once you are accepted, you will be public. So once you public, an author can quickly disseminate their work to wide audience to gain feedback of a draft version and claim credit for their unpublished research. So you will be assigned a date stamp, a timestamp, and the DOI number. So tomorrow, if someone is trying to claim, then you have a legitimate proof that this is your research, number one. Number two, which is also very important, when your research is public already, though this is not peer reviewed, but still it is published, you number of people will come and start commenting on your research. When people commenting on your research, there'll be scope that you can improve the quality of your paper before even you submit it to the publisher. Because when you submit the paper to a publisher, say to IEEE, at max you will get the review of 2 to 3 reviewers. But here, when your paper is already public, lot of people come and start commenting on your research. So there is a good scope for you to improve the quality of your research. Number three is you can share your social media, which will improve the altimetric score before even your research get published. So altimetric score is the score when your research is being discussed on a social media, on LinkedIn, Facebook. So lot of credit on it. Last but not the least, for me, preprint server is a very good platform. Why? Because tomorrow, if I would like to submit my paper, like to publish, I will always start my search. I'm using word search from a preprint server, because preprint will give me access to unpublished research, and I can quickly understand that this is something which is already being public, though it is unpublished, but it is already being public, and that can give me a lot of ideas about my upcoming research also. So there are a couple of questions I would like to address before I proceed further. The first question is from Dr. Anup PK. Dr. Anup is saying, as you told about data analytics tool, does this analytic tool find the integrity and plagiarism of any work? Like, for example, there is Scopus data analytics tool for Elsevier journal. Sir, I'm sure that Elsevier journal, because Elsevier is a publisher and Scopus is their database. So if they're here, I was trying to mention that we are hosting our data sets on Amazon Web Services. And if they are also hosting on Amazon Web Services, then the analytics tool is the similar tools to find the integrity and the plagiarism check. Be very sure about the plagiarism check, but I'm sure about the integrity check. There is one question from Johanna Ahmad. Can the author collaborate with other author if they are working on similar research through preprint server? That's a very good question. Yes, they can collaborate because you have access to the author name, you have access to the author information, but that entirely depend upon the another author whether he would like to or she would like to collaborate with you or no. But yes, that's a very excellent question, and I would like to raise this question in my organization as well. Yes, you can definitely collaborate, but again, that entirely depend upon that author to accept it or to reject it. Yeah. So I will proceed further. And yeah, one of the unique thing about IEEE preprint server is, uh, in case you finally decide not to publish with us, I mean, your paper is already on our preprint server. By paper is, here we call paper as a preprint. The name of the paper is itself is a preprint, because before it's printing. So if you decide to not to publish with us after staying on our database for 2-3 months, we will not stop you to publish with any other publisher. So this point number 4 clearly says author can post preprint papers to Tech Archive regardless of where they eventually intend to submit and publish the paper. Right? This is again free. IEEE Author Center, a very well-known platform, you know, given by IEEE to help to ease the authorship. This is dedicated for all the authors. You want to understand about peer review process? This website is the answer. You want to understand what reviewer is looking into your paper? This website is the answer. You want to understand about journals, conferences, and magazines peer review process? This website has an answer. You want to become a reviewer with IEEE? This website has an answer. This is dedicated for authors only. This is will And the best thing about this website is you will find a lot of video tutorials that can really help you to understand, is to visualize the entire thing within few minutes or within few hours. So whenever you get time, just come to this platform, and there is one free newsletter that get published every month, so you can subscribe for this newsletter also. So A to Z of publication is on this website, and there are some detailed lectures also on this website that can really help you to understand the nitty-gritty and the DNA of publishing. Why? So talking about my country, said India, we did a survey in 2012. I'm saying by we is IEEE, and we realized that 8 out of 9 papers are getting rejected every time, and that too from India. So what are the reasons for it? And one of the reasons that we realized is is the bad English. I mean, I don't feel uh, very proud to say this thing. So the problem is, if you know that what you want to do, you don't have to go to the Supreme Court and debate for your own case. There are lawyers available. So there are a lot of, so I mean, if I again deliberate, and if I would like to continue this discussion, that may take another hour. So I don't want to digress at this moment of time. So I would stick to what I was presenting. So we will answer all these things in the author workshop, in the authoring paper, that how to submit a quality technical paper with IEEE Xplore Digital Library, whenever I'll have that session with all of you in near future. So once again, I would like to recommend all of you to come and spend some time on this website, and this can help you a lot to minimize the rejection rate, especially with respect to journals and with respect to transactions. Any question on Author Center before I proceed further? All right, there is one question. There are a few questions. See, uh, there's one question: does IEEE server support only? Yes, we support only English language as of now. So, I mean, there is no solution wherein when we talk about the patent search platform of IEEE, then there are patents filed in Chinese language, in other languages also, Arabic languages also. But we explore digital library, the only language that is available is English. There's one more question from Ana Ahmed. If the author continues to publish his version of research, even if he knows a research would be published or has been published, would this affect negatively, like rejection? Or so, even if the research is fairly the same, what I would do if I am at the author's place, I will do some changes. So even if there are some minor changes in the conclusion on the result, then probably, I would have a good case to debate on that, that there is. But if it is the replication of the entire research, then definitely the plagiarism or the rejection will come into picture. But for example, say if you are presenting a paper in a conference, sometimes people ask this question to me, that I have presented a paper in a conference, can I present the same paper in the journal? I always answer to this question that yes, you can present your paper in a journal publication, as long as you are doing some substantial changes in that conference paper. If you are simply picking up a paper from a conference and trying to paste it in a journal, then my answer is no. If there are some changes that you are doing to further that research, then yes, there are good number of chances that an editor or the reviewer would look into it from the different perspective. I hope this is answer to your question, Joanna ji. Right. Thank you very much for your acknowledgement. I'll proceed further. It seems my laptop is hanged. We have for the Research Council Oman. The Research Council Oman is giving you access to 5 million full text documents. There are 190 articles. There are 1800 plus IEEE conferences. There are 30 plus IET conferences. There are 5100 industrial approved standards. We have given you complimentary access to Nokia Bell Lab technical journals. There are VD conferences, Verlag digital conferences from Europe, and the back file is from 1800th century, because I'm talking about an organization that was coined by Thomas Alva Edison, Graham Bell, and Marconi. So, what Oman has done so far with IEEE Xplore Digital Library subscription, right? Let's have a look at the total research from Oman on IEEE Xplore. This is not the complete research of Oman. This is the research of Oman as a country with IEEE Xplore. They might have published with Elsevier also. They might have published with ACM also, ASME also, ACE also. But here I'm very specific to IEEE Xplore. So far they have published 1,400 papers, out of which 1,200 are coming from conferences and 190 are coming from journals. They started their research, they started their publication with IEEE Xplore from 1987, and in this year also they have good number of papers. So which university or what other organization in Oman are affiliated with IEEE Xplore Digital Library platform? So there is Sultan Qaboos University, there is Middle East College, there is Gulf College, there is the Research Council Oman. So these are the top affiliations from Oman, being affiliated to IEEE Xplore Digital Library platform. I did some more research on article history of Oman. One of the oldest paper is in 1987, published by Dr. A. Zaiki, I.V. Meghanath, R.A. Dawood. The newest paper is again, published in 2020 in IEEE Communication Letters, and the most popular paper, which is download over 1,000 plus times, is on the edge of things, the big picture on integration of edge, IoT, cloud distribution computing. And here I can see, there are good number of authors from India also. I mean, maybe they are based out of Middle East now, from Sharmi Shankar, Mukesh Prasad, Deepak Puthal, Akanksha Gupta, Manoranjan Mohanty, and Heshmat El Sayed from Oman, right? So I also try to see the top authors from Oman. This is the list of not all the authors, but this is the list of top authors from Oman, right? So these are from different universities of Oman. These are the research scholars, these are the faculty members, these are the HODs, these are the principals, directors, students. You may know few of them, you may know all of them, or you may know most of them. So these are your colleagues, these are your friends. So the reason why I'm sharing this is, again, these are not all the authors, these are only top authors in the descending order of the number of papers that they have published with IEEE Xplore Digital Library platform. So the reason why I'm showing you this slide is they are the people who can guide you in best way on how to publish with XYZ publisher, because they all have submitted their paper and they have been accepted by the publisher and they are present on IEEE Explore Digital Library platform. And I've also shown you the picture of Dr. M.H. Al-Mansouri on the author detail profile page, if you all remember, right? So with this, I'll take a 1 minute of break. I'll just take a sip of water, and then we will spend 5 more minutes, not more than 5 to 6 minutes, on the platform, just to give you a quick tour of the platform. I know that we extended this because this is, as per my time zone, this is 5 minutes above the time which I was allowed. But if you can allow me 5 more minutes, I can conclude this presentation. So I'll just take 1 minute of breather. In the meanwhile, I would request each one of you to please ask questions that that always motivates me and that always tells me that everyone is listening to me on this webinar, right? So I'll just take 1 minute breather. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you, Ranbir. Again, if anyone have questions, I think this is the time uh, to submit it like on the chat box. So every question will be entertained and will be answered. And again, this is a recorded session. So later on, we'll submit or share it with everyone, um, the recorded session. So, and let's wait again for Ranbir to come back, and hopefully, everyone will everyone enjoyed the presentation, and hopefully that this will be helpful for everyone.
All right, thank you very much for your patience. Now I'll stop sharing my screen and I will jump to the live platform. Just going to the live platform. Right. So that's the platform, IEEEexplore.ieee.org. We typically use IP authentication. I hope you can see my screen with the platform. Can any one of you reply?
Yes, we can see it. It's clear.
All right. All right. Thank you very much. So yeah. So I'm sorry. So we use the IP authentication, which is a seamless authentication as long as we are inside the institution. So how will you know that you are an authorized user of IEEE Xplore? By looking at the top of the website. Here I'm using a demo account from some college of India. So let's assume that the name says access provided by TRC Oman, right? So if the name is there, that means everything is fine. But right now, what I understand, all of you are working from home. You're not in the campus. So what we can do in case if you do not have, but I'm sure in Middle East, all these schools, all the colleges do have the remote access solutions wherein they can connect to the remote, they can remotely connect to the campus network while sitting at home also. So we can generate the temporary username and password for you in case if you do not have the remote access solution. That's number one. So that's the platform. And this is the basic search box that is called the global search box also. And below that, there is advanced search box. Now, before I tell you about this, I would always recommend everyone to scroll down further. You can click on this banner, free to access new COVID related 19 article. Now, if I just click on this banner, it will run the query automatically and it will give me access to 600 plus research based article on COVID-19, and all these articles are freely available. So you can see this research is coming from 1985 to this year. You can sort by these different options, most cited by or most cited by patents, and you can understand how this virus has evolved over the period of time. And you can also disseminate this information because these COVID related 19 articles are open for everyone. If there is a friend of yours who is a medical practitioner or a biomedical engineer and trying to find a cure for this virus, and they don't have access to IEEE Explore Digital Library, you can tell that during this difficult time, IEEE has opened all these articles for free. So anyone can access these articles. At any moment of time, you can click on this IEEE Explore home button and you can come back to the main website. Now you can scroll down further. Every month we add feature authors. So for example, this month is one is from United States, one is from China, and one is from Sweden. There are feature articles that you can recommend to your students if they would like to do a project. So all these are, upcoming research-based articles, futuristic research articles. And down below, you can see some new updates. Like as I've told you that we have added the Arctech House. There are new e-learning courses and there are on-demand webinars for libraries at any point of time you want. And then there is upcoming conferences. So you can click on see all upcoming conferences and that will take you to a website called IEEE.org, wherein you can see if there is any upcoming conference in Oman. So you can easily come to know about it. So let me run a quick query on this small basic search box. So what I have done, I have already created a small script to save your time. Say I want to search on frequency control and load regulation. That's very simple. No need to give you any training on that. But here the catch is I'm searching on frequency control and load regulation. But when I scroll it down and I see that I have 4,986 results, and I'm very happy that I have so much of content on this. But when I scroll it down, I will see that this is a flawed result. Why? Because this is a keyword search engine. It is searching on control as a word, load regulation as a word, frequency regulation as a word. That is not my query. So what I will do, I will always use the quotations. And this and is an operator. There are three operators, and, or, and not. And this and is an operator. Whenever you are using an operator, it will always go in the capital letter, not in the small letter. So now when I press enter, it will quickly show me, let me refresh it. It will show me from 4,000 there are 11437 results. Now what I can, apart from these operators, there are two more wildcards I would like to recommend you. If I press MODU and then I press star, that is asterisk, it will show me all the versions of that word. Modulation, modulator, modula, modulating. These are the different variation of this word. Similarly, I can also use another wildcard, that is question mark. So with question mark, what will happen? It will replace the single alphabet, optimization and optimization, right? So this is what I can do with the help of these two wildcards. The star would replace n0 to n number of alphabets, and question mark would only replace the single alphabet. Now I'll go back to my previous search and I'll quickly search this frequency control and load modulation. There are 1,400 papers and still the number is very big. I'm unable to scan my paper. So what I will do, I will use the small search box. You can see the small search box. This will search within the results, only within this 1437 results. So what I will do now, I will try to search on multi-area power system, because frequency control and load regulation is a very broad topic. So I will restrict my search to a very limited thing under these broad search items. So I'll click on search. Now you can see 99 papers. I will always click on my subscribe content. Otherwise, after creating the search query, I may end up in this one. Now this is my subscribe content, and say, so there is one question. Let me address that question. What if we type any spellings wrong for a title, but it gives spelling suggestion like Google? No, we don't have a suggestion like Google, because it's a keyword search engine. Google is a semantic search engine. So when you use a semantic search engine, there are suggestions. Even if you write a wrong spelling or you do a grammatical mistake, it will give you some results. But in this case, it will not give you any results. And this is not just with IEEE, this is with any publisher. This is a keyword search engine. This is not a semantic search engine. So what I'll do now, say I would like to restrict to only to journals. So what I've searched frequency control and load modulation, and then I restricted my search only to multi-area power system, and then I'm restricting my search only to journals. I will say this is from 1987 to 2020. Okay, I don't want to go to that old version, that old data, so I want to stick to 2010 to 2020. Now what I'll do, okay, now there are 29 results. I'll go to relevance, and I would always go to most cited by papers. So I'm just giving you a quick way of how to come to your desired content. So there are 29 papers, and I think I would like to stick to this search query. But all of a sudden I realized that this my day is over and I'm going to go back home. So what I will do, can I save this? The answer is somewhat yes. But what if I will tell IEEE Xplore from this moment, if there is any article on this query, IEEE Xplore has to send an email to me, right? I'm not going to do anything after this point. I will go through these 29 article, but if there are any new article on this entire query, IEEE has to notify me on weekly basis that these are the new articles on this query. Would you like to read it or not? So for that, I have to create my account. So I will click on create account, and there are 4 or 5 questions. You can instantly create account. So now I will log in with my personal account. For example, say I will log in with personal account. The moment you log in with your personal account, now you will be able to create an alert on this query. You can see the name of my name, welcome Ranbir Sede. Now instantly I'll be able to create alert on this. I will save this. Now I can go to set search alerts. I can give the alert name, and you can see the email. This is the email which I gave when I was creating the account. You can give any alert name. you can click on save and you will start getting the email alerts for this particular query. Now let's quickly open this article. So I have opened this article, and now I can quickly see the authors from this. So if I click on all authors, I can see the one author is from Egypt, one author is from, let me just let it appear fully. Yeah, Al Kuwait, and one author is from Sultan Qaboos University, Muscat of Oman, right? So, that's how if I click on any of the author name, it will give me the author profile page. And if I scroll up, you see there is, yeah, still loading. Yeah, see there is one equation. I want to replicate this equation. So if I right click on this equation, click on show math as, then click on mathml code, I can get access to the source code of this equation. I will click again. Right. I'm sorry, my internet is a little slow today. Just one moment. Yeah. So now when I scroll up, yeah, say this is the equation. I will right click on this and I will get access to show math as mathml code. And here you can see this is whole source code of my equation. So now when I go to say a Word document, I can copy this source code. I can just go to the Word document. For example, I'm just showing you an example. I can paste this equation, that's the source code. I'll click on control, click on A, and I will get back my equation. So that's how I get an access to the same equation as it is. I mean, otherwise I would have used the this one keyboard to write these symbols. So I can do this entire thing with the help of this one. So I'll just close this. So with this, I will stop sharing my screen and just tell you about the basic search, how to do the basic search. So probably whenever we'll have session on site, then I can, tell you more about advanced search and command search. Because we are running out of time, I have already consumed, 20 minutes over and above. So now I would like to open forum for the questions, and I would like to, request all of you to use the chat box if you have any questions. So I can see there are some questions. Let me answer them. Is there a tool to generate citation for a math ML code? Uh, 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 no, so far we don't have any tool to generate citation for the mathematical code. But I will take it as a feedback and I will give it this to my production team to know if they can do something in this regard. Any other question? All right, there's one comment from Philip Author. I'm the informative, this session was informative. Although I'm an English department faculty member, I am better informed on how to encourage students for future engineers to aspire conducting research and publishing, and the IEEE support that awaits them. Thank you very much, sir, for your comment. So if there are no questions, I will hand it over to Sheena right away. And I will share the presentation with you, and that presentation would also contain my email address, my mobile number. You can get in touch with me, you know, through the email, through the mobile, if there are any question, and we will keep you posted on our upcoming webinar on how to publish a quality technical paper with IEEE Xplore. Over to you, Sheena. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ranbir, and thank you for the presentation. That was really informative, and we've seen that you have made thorough research and included Oman. That is really helpful, and hopefully everyone learn from this session. And again, we will be sharing the recorded session in the near future. Um, if you have any questions, please let us know. You all have our contact details and an email address, and as well as Ranbir's. And this is where we end this session. Again, thank you very much for attending, and
Thank, yeah.
have a great day.
Yeah, thank you very much for attending. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your wonderful questions. Please follow the guidelines of your government. Stay at home, wash your hands, and just be safe. So we will meet soon when we will resume to normalcy. Thank you and have a good rest of the week. Bye bye. Now I end the recording and now I end this session.
Thank you, Ranbir.